In 2016, Tim Cook visited India for the first time as Apple's CEO. And the three highlights of his trip were a visit to Siddhivinayak temple, a dinner party with Bollywood celebrities, and a surprise visit to an IPL match in Kanpur. And these were not random unconnected events. This was a part of very carefully planned strategy. According to experts, religion, films and cricket is the holy trinity, also known popularly as ABC, astrology, Bollywood and cricket, which makes India's heartbeat and drive most of the consumption in the country. Now, Bollywood and cricket have massive economies that have evolved over decades. But astrology did not have an organized economy like that till very recently, until Puneet Gupta came into the picture. Puneet himself never believed in astrology.
As I told you, I never believed in astrology.
But he understood the pulse of Indians in a way that no one before him did. And today his startup Astrotalk controls 80% market share in India's online astrology market. In the ongoing financial year, the company will make 600 crore rupees in revenue and earn 100 crores in profit. So how did Puneet do it? What are the challenges of creating a market from scratch? And what can we as future entrepreneurs learn from this journey? All of this and more in this video of Backstage with Millionaires. In 2011, Puneet was working as a software developer, earning 37,000 rupees per month. He was very happy with his life, and the thought of starting up had never crossed his mind. This, however, changed when one day he had a big fight with his girlfriend, who left him for not being financially well off. Puneet realized that starting up is a good way to get rich. And so that's what he did. He moved to his hometown in Bhatinda, Punjab and spent the next 7 months working on an idea which never worked out. Puneet was devastated, and since he had spent all his savings on this startup, he had to get a job again as a developer to earn some money. These were tough times for Puneet, but here he came across a friend who would change his life. This friend of Puneet was a hobbyist astrologer, and he predicted that Puneet would start an IT services company, but with a caveat. He said that the company would shut down in 2 years. This gave Puneet some hope and courage to start up again, but his astrologer friend's prediction came true. The company shut down in 2 years. Puneet was shocked about the accuracy of the prediction, and he went back to his friend. And after talking to him multiple times, Puneet had a light bulb moment. He realized that the answer was not via astrology but astrology itself. He understood that astrology is a key part of Indian society and there's a big business opportunity here. And that was the birth of Astrotalk. While doing his research, Puneet figured out 3 key insights about this sector. First was that there were a lot of fake astrologers and customers found it difficult to separate the genuine ones from the pretenders. Secondly, offline players did not have the tech expertise to increase their reach or scale their business efficiently. And finally, Indians were getting online. Jio had just launched and most Indians now had access to good internet and a smartphone. Puneet used these insights to build the first MVP of Astrotalk. The idea was to connect astrologers with the users over a 30-minute video call. With this product, Astrotalk saw some traction, but he did not see the hockey stick viral growth he was expecting. The problem was he was building it for the older generation living in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And most of us would think that this is the right market for an astrology app, but this wasn't the case. Contrary to this belief, Astrotalk's biggest demand was from younger generation in tier 1 cities. And this was a surprising fact. You see, for this younger crowd, Astrotalk worked as a mental health app disguised as an astrology app. In India, therapy is both expensive and a taboo for a large part, and astrology is considered as part of our tradition. And this knowledge helped the team at Astrotalk to revamp their app and focus on this young crowd. Another change the company did with their first version was to introduce audio calls and chats, as most people were not comfortable on video talking about their personal stuff. And finally, instead of a fixed 30-minute model, they made it on a per minute basis, as different people had different requirements. Some could finish their call in 5 minutes, while others took hours. Even after these changes, Astrotalk still had to solve for the most important factor: trust. You see, fake astrologers is a very rampant problem in India, and if Astrotalk had to win in this space, they had to make sure that people trust the astrologers on its app. And to solve this problem, Puneet started a rigorous interview process to onboard astrologers on his app. And this wasn't easy to do. Most astrologers laughed on Puneet's face, saying things like, "We have more experience than your age."
And the other one said कि आपकी जितनी उम्र है उससे ज़्यादा मुझे experience है.
It took Puneet 1.5 months to get the first 3-4 astrologers, but this did not deter deter Puneet from his conviction. And today they have over 15,000 qualified and trusted astrologers on their platform. This entire process of learning and making changes to the product took 1 year for the team, and by the end of 2018, they were on a road for massive growth. So we have talked about what made Astrotalk different and what drove its growth. Now it's important to understand their business model and how are they making money. Astrotalk business model is pretty simple. They function like a marketplace, kinda like Uber. You select the astrologer, book a consultation, and pay the price based on charges per minute. And Astrotalk gets a commission from that transaction. And this was so simple and convenient for users that Astrotalk did not have to spend anything on marketing in the early days. This is an article from October 2019, and the company had already close to 1 million downloads. Its revenue was growing 25% month on month, and all of this growth was coming from repeat customers and referrals with zero marketing. The year 2020 proved to be a boon for Astrotalk. The uncertainty caused by the COVID pandemic meant that large number of people were now looking for astrology related products. Take a look at this chart from Google Trend. It shows how the interest for Astrotalk grew dramatically among people after 2020. And today in 2023, Astrotalk has over 3.4 crore registered users and 15,000 astrologers on their platform. And such is their dominance in this sector that their revenue and profit is also growing with the same scale. Take a look at these numbers. In the last 3 years, Astrotalk's revenue has grown by almost 100% year on year. And in the ongoing year, they are projecting a revenue of 600 crore rupees. And out of this, 100 crores is going to be profit. And such healthy growth in revenue and profit shows that Astrotalk does not have a real competition in the space. Their product is so much better than others that people want to keep coming back to them. And here is something very interesting about Astrotalk's business that most people don't realize. Not everyone using Astrotalk believed in astrology. In fact, close to 60% of Astrotalk's revenue comes from questions related to marriage and relationship, and the next 30% from career related questions. Most of these people belong to the age group of 25 and 35. And this is the time when relationship and career uncertainties are at its peak. Something that Puneet had also faced 10 years back. For these people, Astrotalk works like a pseudo therapy app where they are heard and are given a hope, a sense of certainty. And Puneet and his team understood this very well. They are now expanding into other astrology related verticals like tarot reading and numerology. They've also started their e-commerce platform Astromall, selling gemstones and services like e-puja. See, the team has realized that their users are not just into astrology, and so they are slowly evolving and expanding to get into the mental health space. In fact, they've already started hiring mental health professionals. And based on all these growth drivers, Puneet expects Astrotalk to 3x their revenue in the next 2 years, to reach 2,000 crore rupees by FY26 before they go public. Now, what can we as future entrepreneurs learn from this journey? I think biggest lesson is big business ideas are right in front of us. We just need to look closely enough. Astrology is not an invisible market. It's something that we see happen around us every day. An astrologer is consulted in almost every wedding in India, and every time parents are worried about the future of their kids. Puneet was ignorant of this market because he did not believe in it. However, business is not about changing people's belief. It's selling people what they already want. And here is another important lesson. Just copying offline business and turning them online is not enough. What works offline might not necessarily work online. Puneet tried to do the same with Astrotalk. He assumed that the same people interested in offline astrology would use online astrology apps. But the group of people using astrology online was completely different from the ones using it offline. And you have to be open to change your product based on that information if it has to succeed. And the final lesson is your product can't be slightly better than your competition. It has to be way better than them. Kunal Shah, for example, has this Delta 4 theory where if you want to succeed, you have to make existing process more efficient by at least a delta of 4. Or in the words of Peter Thiel, you should strive to create a monopoly in your sector. And that will only happen if your product is way better than others. So that's all from my side in this video. Let me know what you think of this crazy journey of Astrotalk and its founder Puneet Gupta. And I'll see you in the next one.